very often when you work with blocks in the EC800M, sometimes there are structure variables and sometimes there are simple variables. And the editor has smart ways of dealing with that. So let's first create a variable which is of type bool IO. Bool IO is the IO data type used for connecting to IO. But that actually has a number of parameters inside, and sometimes I want to connect to just a subset of those. So if you do an AND gate like here, connecting this one to this one should not be possible, and it isn't really possible. But if I try to do it, I get an editor asking for what component did you want to connect to? Well, I want to connect to the forced value, for instance, in order to know if someone actually forced the I/O. And now I made a smart connection between the bool IO to the bool with a dot notation in between. Another way of working in a similar fashion is to click the variable, use port visibility, and say, I would also like to see the status. And now I got another port on it showing me the status. There are other ways of doing the same thing. One is to make a split and a join. Split and join is doing exactly what it sounds like. You can connect the Boolean IO to it, and it will now give me all the components as ports from that one. And the join is doing actually the exact opposite. You can join different components into one. So if I make a new variable here, which will be my variable 4, which is also bool IO, I can now connect it in that way, and I can join the components. Beware that the split and join actually copies all of the components. So in this case, all the components of the bool IO will be copied down here, which is different from when you do a dot notation. In that case, only that component will be copied, or if you bring forward the ports of the status, in that case, we will also just copy the status.